The concept of double agent was born when Ubisoft asked the Shanghai development team to work on Splinter 4 for the next generation of consoles. And it would have been easy to have done Chaos Theory Part 2, but we really wanted to do something different. Around the same time we were thinking about the concept, we discovered a movie called Infernal Affairs, and that movie basically is the story of a cop who's infiltrated into the mafia and a mafia guy who's infiltrated into the police. And this gave us the idea that basically the most extreme form of espionage was an undercover mission. So we decided to put Sam into that sort of situation. The next-gen systems allowed us to push everything that we wanted to push a little bit further. So, you know, one of our main concepts for Splinter Cell Double Agent was the variety that we wanted to offer to the gamers. So it allowed us to do things like skydiving, swimming. It allowed us to do environments that are really, really huge. For example, the Shanghai level, where we modelized not only the entire Shanghai skyline, but also the 80-story high building that you carry out your mission in. So there you're going to be landing on the roof, rappelling on the outside, going inside the hotel, and rappelling down the 30-floor atrium inside the hotel. So it allows us to do things that have never been done before. And once we have defined these environments, like the Shanghai level, then we can add another twist. So the Shanghai level happens during Chinese New Year, and the fireworks are going on all around you. So it's something that really has never been seen before and could never have been done on the current generation of consoles. There are two design philosophies for Splinter Cell. There's one which was best represented by Pandora Tomorrow, which has very cinematic and very emotional set pieces. And there's the Montreal Canadian approach to things, which is a scientific approach to gameplay, where everything is calculated a millimeter close, and it's just pure emotion from mastering a system. What we wanted to do with Double Agent is to combine a little bit of both. So we have a very cinematic storyline full of set pieces that are really, really emotional, but at the same time, there was no way we were going to abandon the scientific approach to gameplay that the Canadian team did so well. So we've got a really good balance of those two approaches in this game. For Splinter Cell Double Agent, the core element was Double Agent, was being undercover. And that was the cornerstone for all the level design decisions, the game design decisions, and the story-based decisions. So, talking about the story, we felt that previous Splinter Cells kind of sent you to the four corners of the globe, but without you knowing particularly why or what the threat was. Here, what we wanted to do was make that very, very clear from the beginning, and to make you really involved in the storyline, to make you know exactly why you were going to a certain area and what you had to do in that area. This becomes especially important when you realize that you have dual objectives on every single mission. Terrorist objectives and NSA objectives, and that at the end of the day you're going to try and carry out both sets of objectives to make both clients happy. Well, we have choices in the game that prop up basically in every single mission. You'll have certain choices. For example, in Kinshasa you'll be walking around the streets and you'll see an execution of civilians. Now you can choose to help them out, but you'll be calling attention to yourself, so putting yourself in danger. Or you can let it go on, but be witness to a public execution. Now that's your choice. It's a tough choice to make. But at the same time, we have much, much bigger choices that have a real effect on the story of the game. The most clear manifestation of this is a branching storyline and multiple endings. Now those choices are often presented as directed moments. Now these directed moments are what we're using to replace cinematics. We never take the control of the camera out of the hands of the player, and we put him into a situation that is really emotionally charged. So one thing that we showed you today, which was the Cole Yeager moment, directed moment, is a situation where the terrorists have captured an innocent man, and they ask you to prove your allegiance by getting rid of him, by killing him. Now, you know he's innocent, and you know what your mission is. Do you kill him? Do you take that risk? Or do you decide that, no, your mission's not that important and you'd rather lay low? And every single decision throughout the game gets harder and harder. So at the end of the game, we're going to be asking you, would you kill your best friend to save 3,000 innocent people? Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Double Agent is coming out in September 2006 on Xbox 360, PC, Xbox, and PS2. Basically, the way I see it, this is the most thrilling stealth action game that's ever been made. There's enough variety there to satisfy anybody who's new to the franchise, and the same Splinter Cell gameplay that we've all grown to really love.